marks 40 years since the landmark BBC series Sea of Faith.
As a Christian, I want to know in what form, if any, Christian faith is possible for us today.
Presented by Christian theologian Don Cupid, it examined Christianity, questioned the existence of God, and explored the challenges posed to religion by science and secularism. The series caused controversy from viewers who felt it appeared to promote atheism. Yet for one man, it had the opposite effect.
As we go on, we'll give as much space to the atheists as to the believers, because they deserve it.
That man is Giles Fraser, a broadcaster, journalist and vicar of St Anne's in Kew, West London.
Well, Giles, it's lovely to meet you. You're the vicar here.
I am, yeah.
But you haven't always been a Christian. Take us back to your childhood. Paint a picture.
Wow. So, my dad was in the Air Force. We moved around all the time. I went away to posh school. I was trouble. I was quite a lot of trouble at school. And, yeah, no one could ever have spotted this was the way I was going to go. And, yeah, I didn't believe in anything. And then the Sea of Faith came along, which was this programme, and this extraordinary guy called Don Cupid on the telly. And this programme was sort of groundbreaking in a way. Lots of people were annoyed about it, that it was sort of giving into atheism. But actually, he sort of took seriously all my doubts, but allowed me to bracket out all the doubts I had about metaphysics or the supernatural and so forth. For me, it was like, where does your heart lead you? And I found it I was quite nervous about the fact that it was actually leading me towards faith.
Giles, a philosophy student at the time, discovered that the series was not only leading him towards faith, but one step further. One night in his university library, after weeks of researching deeper into the topic, he had a dramatic revelation.
I walked up the stairs to find the dean of the college, who was a priest, and I said, so how do you become a priest? And I was like, if he'd have asked me the question, which he didn't, how long have you been a Christian? I'd have said, about, 3 minutes.
In these programmes, we're going to pick out a number of key turning points and a number of great thinkers.
So what was it about the series that convinced you?
Well, I think there was something building up within me about faith that was very, very strong, but there was all sorts of doubts getting in the way. And I just thought, I didn't believe this mumbo-jumbo. What this series did was address those issues and gave me a reading list to think more carefully about those issues. Suddenly it was an exciting adventure.
It may be a trifle crude, but it works.
I think that the adventure of faith is something that we don't always have as much as we ought to these days. That faith is also an intellectual adventure, and that books are exciting, and that TV series can be exciting, and this sort of stuff can open you up to a world of intellectual adventure.
Galileo was a great realist. He thought he could read the book of nature and find in it certain and final truths, just as the church got them from reading scripture.
Is there a particular hymn that stands out to you?
How shall I sing that majesty? So it starts with a question, how can we sing this? And then you've got these beautiful, sweeping cadences which take you on a journey and leave me sort of battered at the end of it. That's what makes me want to cry. And it's in the crying and the beauty of the way your heart is lifted that I find something that maps quite accurately what my faith sort of looks like.